everyone, and welcome to another edition of Inspire. We are on a seminar Inspire kick, and I'm so excited to have Lauren Tukuafu with us. Hi, Lauren.
Hi.
So glad to have you here, coming back now from our 25th celebration, our 25th anniversary celebration at the seminar, and you shared some fantastic tips on building relationships and being consistent in your business because your business is mainly online. And a few fun facts you might not know about Lauren. I'm just going to share them up front. She's been in the business now for 5 years. And she jumped on Instagram from the very beginning. She knew a good thing when it was happening, and she was already naturally into makeup and all of that fun stuff. And when approached at an airport, see, this is why you
Yeah,
know everyone and you approach people, because Lauren, you were approached at an airport, right? And that's how you heard about SeneGence?
I was in line and someone started talking to me. We had a conversation and I told her I was a stay-at-home mom and I have a makeup background. And she told me all about SeneGence and I was like, oh my goodness, this is exactly what I've been looking for.
And the rest, they say, is history. You gave us a fantastic um, presentation at seminar. And so let's talk now, because you do something fun here where you take your customer, what you like to call, through seasons of building that relationship. So can you share a little bit about that and how somebody watching can leverage this strategy in their own business?
Yes, for sure. So I feel like it's our job as a distributor to make sure we have a realistic view of what it looks like to take someone from not knowing even who you are to becoming your customer. And I think a lot of times we think like, okay, I told them all about it. How come maybe the sales aren't like just flowing in? We have to remember that there are seasons to a relationship. It's not like we're just going to jump in meeting someone and then ask them to marry us. I feel like sometimes we just think like, okay, I told you something about the company. Here you go. So this is what I call the 4 seasons, basically dating your customer. So the first season is visibility. This is where you go from becoming unknown to known. And so what this looks like is basically sharing more of yourself, and a lot of us, we kind of stick to one topic, but I feel like as we let people know more about who we are, then they're going to become more comfortable, more relatable, because people are going to buy from you for a reason. Okay. So it's your job to lead your customer by the hand, to let them know who you are, and you can't skip any of these pieces. Okay. So you can't skip the work. And I call this making deposits into your almost like business account. So this first season of visibility is you're making these deposits. You're offering knowledge, you're offering your expertise. And so skipping this part really doesn't do you any good in the long run, because people will skip over you because they don't know who you are. So that's kind of like the visibility section. Is I have 4 buckets.
Can you,
Oh,
sorry,
yes.
okay. So can you give an example of what does that mean? Like, what is,
Yeah,
if somebody's new watching, maybe they're new to online, they want to strengthen their online relationships. What would be something that they could do to help that visibility?
100%. So your visibility looks like this. Obviously, consistency is going to be your best friend with your stories, with reels, and putting yourself out there every single day. I have these 4 buckets that I love to draw from, because I think a lot of times, especially if you're a new distributor, you're like, what am I supposed to be talking about? There's only so many times I can talk about climate control. And then you're like, hello, is anyone there? So my 4 buckets, here's just a few examples. So obviously SeneGence is going to be one of your buckets. Skincare and makeup. It has to be something you talk about consistently. Another bucket, I love talking about wellness. I love talking about cooking. I love showing my family. You can do this as much as you're comfortable with. I love talking about fashion finds and fitness and what I'm doing just to feel better. Um, Anything inspirational to help you connect to other people. So think about, what are your 4 buckets that you can draw from. They don't have to be something on a daily basis. It could be a weekly basis that you talk about, letting people know who you are and what makes you interesting. And I always tell people, if you're like, I don't know what makes me interesting, that is your cue that you need to learn something new. You need to add something to your bucket so you are more interesting. And you can say to your audience, hey, I'm actually learning about foot zoning. I'm just picking something random. I'm learning about foot
Hey,
zoning.
what did you say?
I said foot zoning.
Foot zoning?
Yes, something so random. And you can be like, okay, I'm learning about this. Come along with me on this journey, whatever it is. I'm learning how to make bread. Come along with me on this journey. Something to make you interesting, to pull people in. And some people will be like, I want to learn how to make bread too. And then they'll be watching you. And then you're like, oh, by the way, look how awesome this is. I want to share another thing that I'm passionate about. And you can throw in SeneGence, and you can throw in like your favorite sweater. I just feel like showing more about who you are and your interests. That's how you become visible,
Great.
is being interesting. Okay. Okay, let's move on to number 2. Number 2 is engagement. So engagement is basically asking people to communicate with you. So I do this a lot on Instagram with using the little stickers. You know, have you seen the little slidey bar? Like, slide the bar if you would wear this lip color. Slide the bar. Or tell me, I do this often too, like when I go get my nails done, which design should I choose? A, B, C, or D? And have your audience interact with you. Or are you interested in the microbiome of your skin? Would you like learning more about that? And they would slide the bar like, yes. So it kind of is, you use that as feedback for what are people interested in. And then when someone does engage with you, that gives you permission to then go to DMs and be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for telling me which color you think I should wear on my lips today. Have you tried this before? Like asking them a question. Have you heard of SeneGence before? How many lip colors do you have? You know, you can start this conversation. So the engagement piece is basically you getting information on what's working. Now, here's the thing. What happens if you get no engagement? That is also information that what you're doing may not be working and you need to tweak things a little bit. And you have to constantly keep asking your audience questions and giving them opportunities to engage with you easily. Okay, should we move on to number 3?
Yeah, and those are great tips. And I think a lot of people miss, they ask people to interact, but then they don't go back and follow up with the people that interacted with them. So
That's right.
this is a key component. And then also being willing to be flexible and pivot if you need to pivot, if you're
Yes.
an interaction. Great tips.
Yes. If there's crickets, that doesn't mean you quit.
Right.
Crickets mean that you just need to do something different. You need to pivot and maybe ask a different question. So yeah, don't give up just because it's quiet.
Yeah.
Number 3 is going to be identifying your leads. So your leads are, they could be those who interact with you, but there's actually 3 different types of leads. So we have cold leads, which are those who are not really interested, not ready to purchase. They may not even know you yet, but I feel like that's encouraging because cold leads, there's so many cold leads out there that you can turn to a warm lead. I mean, I think a lot of people think like, oh, my current town is saturated with SeneGence distributors, which mine is not. But if yours is, I think a lot of people think like, oh, there's not a lot of room for growth. But guess what? If you're utilizing social media also, there's so many cold leads who don't even know about SeneGence. They don't know that SeneGence exists. So we have a cold lead who's like freezing, doesn't know SeneGence at all. We want to turn those to warm leads. That's why it's so important to be consistent and turn people into those who are aware of you and aware of the brand. And those that are kind of like, I'm shopping around for a new skincare system. And they're kind of like not 100% invested, but they're there and they're listening and they're deciding. What do they say? It takes like 7 to 11 times people hearing things for them to like actually decide and to purchase. So those are kind of like our in-betweens, our warm leads. And then our hot leads, so many of us have hot leads right now. Those are your current customers, those who will buy from you no matter what, whatever comes out, they're like, yes, count me in. I want it right now. Those are your hot leads, or I call them hot babes. Our hot babes, we can just like throw anything at them and they're like, put me down for 5. You know what I mean? So we have to really identify who our leads are, and how we talk to them does matter. And I want to emphasize talking to them, because we have to be out there talking to people all the time, whether it's in real life or on social media. this does leading people through the 4 seasons of this buying process. It does take time and it takes work, but it is so worth it because you will strengthen that pool that you have of those hot leads. Okay. So that's engagement. That's number 3. And then number 4 is the sale. Okay. So then we can really ask for what we want. And that is, I mean, what we're getting out of it is a relationship with some people who will be our friends, some of them for lifelong. And we can ask them for the sale. And I think a lot of time I see a lot of ladies, they will demo the product and show the incredibleness of it. And then they leave it flat and forget to ask. People don't know how to shop with you. You have to remind people every single day. There's actually a couple ways to shop with me. You can check out my website. And I've actually made it really easy because I've loaded everything into a cart. Click the link here. You have to direct people. We have the Wow Book Demo Direct. That last one, direct, is telling people what to do. It's kind of like people want to be bossed around, actually. They want to have it made so easy. Like, click the link here. Here's one thing that you'll never hear me saying is the word if. If you're interested,
Assume the
reach out.
sale, baby. Assume the sale.
Assume the entire day. And if you catch yourself saying, if you're interested, reach out to me, no one is going to reach out to you. It's too hard.
It is.
So
you got to keep it super simple.
Yes, you've got to make it so easy for someone to shop with you. You've led them through all these stages, and then you just have to tell them, this is how you get the product. It's not in a store, it's through me, and you are going to get the best customer experience ever. Click the link here, and then know what I do? I go the extra mile. When you get your product in the mail, whether it's through the website or through me, when you get your product in the mail, let's jump on a quick video call, and I'm going to take about 10 minutes with you and kind of give you some tips of how to put things on, what colors that you got that go together well. And I love to kind of jump on a quick little call. Those little customer service or customer experience moments go a really long way because you spend so much time nurturing this customer. They will come back to you over and over and over again.
Yeah, what a great way to build that relationship and seal the deal with that extra customer service and that literal FaceTime with this stranger from that you met on the internet.
Yes.
Right. And a lot of people do not do that for sure. So that's
And they're
JD.
so excited.
Yeah.
They're so excited to talk to you.
You're a celebrity to them. You're like, there's somebody that, they scroll through and see you. So for you to take that time, I think that is a fantastic tip for people to easily adopt. That's an easy, free thing that people can be doing to strengthen those relationships with their new customers.
Yes.
I love that. And can we talk a little bit about the consistency of this process as well? Before we hit record, you mentioned like you don't miss a day. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life. And life's not perfect, right, Lauren, for anybody. And so we have tough days, tough months, maybe tough years, whether it's personal or illness. So how do you that commitment to consistency going in your business?
Right. So here's the thing. I'll just be transparent. The last year of life was probably the hardest personally that I've ever had. I never skipped a beat. And that's not meaning that I wasn't authentic to myself, because what's authentic to me is I know the importance of my business. And just because I'm having a bad day or a bad week, or in my case, I had several bad months. Okay. But I still showed up because I know the importance of these products to my customers, that I have something that can bless their lives, and my family needs it. It blesses my family as well. So if you do things only when you feel like it, you will never do it because you don't feel like it. I don't base my business off of how I feel. I base it more off of factual, like, okay, today I need to sell $300 a product to reach my goals. And if I let days and weeks go by, I'm not going to reach my goals. And that's just factual. So if we are basing if we want to or not, based on how we feel or our emotional status, nothing's ever going to get done. We have to push through for sure.
Facts over feelings.
Yeah.
To consistency. I think that's really a great tip there. And so if somebody's watching and maybe they haven't been consistent yet, like if you have somebody new that's come on board, what are your best tips for somebody new that needs to really, they want to really make a significant jump in an increase in their online business? What would you tell them to do first?
Okay. So first of all, I would say stop watching other SeneGence distributors. Stop comparing yourself to someone who's been in the business like me for 5.5 years. It doesn't do you any good, and it really stifles creativity. Think about what motivates you and who you are and what makes you special. And obviously you can take tidbits from other distributors, that's fine. But I'm saying if you're spending your time watching and not creating, that's not going to help you. So really making it clear, who am I? What are my 4 buckets that I want to draw from on a daily or weekly basis? What do I have to offer? And then just really going for it. If you can show up every single day, whether you feel like it or not, look in the beauty book and take one product, just one product. You don't have to do a full face. It's too overwhelming. Take one product, educate yourself a little bit on that, and then present it in a way that is authentic to you, and then go talk about something else. Show your favorite outfit. Show people how to put together an outfit with the makeup that you just put on, or maybe your favorite necklace with the makeup that you just put on, showing people how to style themselves. And it becomes kind of like your own little TV show. That's how I like to think of it, as my own little series. Okay. So really honing in on, okay, who am I? And what do I have to share and have to offer? Because someone is going to shop with you over shopping with me because of your own personal style and your own authenticity. But just keep going and never give up, and definitely hone in on your strengths, because we're all so different. That was a long-winded answer.
It was a great answer, and it's perfect. So thank you so much. These are great tips. I know that they're going to help so many people. We appreciate you. Thank you so much, Lauren, for being an inspiration and for being with us today.
Of course. Thank you so much, Amy. It was so fun.